flooringoutlet.com traffic center.
S&L Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call S&L. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. S&L Coin.
News, traffic, and the latest on the Redbirds. This is the Redbird Rush Hour on KMOX.
On a Tuesday, we welcome you into the Redbird Rush Hour. We're leading you right into Cardinals baseball. Cardinals Marlins tonight. No Kevin Wheeler. I'm Matt Pauley. Bernie Miklasz is here as well. Bernie, this is like you going back to your days of doing daily radio. You're going to be with us for every day for the rest of the week.
I love it, man. Between the Redbird Rush Hour and the Gas House Gang, you had one of those today, and then another one on Thursday. Yeah, I'm all in. I love it, and this is a great time of the year to be busy this week with the trade deadline upon us, just about.
So I think this is the first time you've joined us on a Tuesday, and this is what we generally do on Tuesday, and so you'll kind of have you'll have a lot of familiarity with the audio that we're going to hear. We kind of go back through what Oliver Marmol had to say during the Gas House Gang, and we play some of those cuts, but then we get the chance to respond to some of the things that he said, so kind of kick off a conversation. Before we get into any of that, that was a good win for the club yesterday as they continue to just kind of hang around in playoff contention, not to the sense that I think that changes anything at the deadline, but just to the sense that you kind of respect the work that the team is putting in on an everyday basis.
Yeah, I do respect that. We know that they're really erratic, and a lot of that has to do with youth and just some holes in the roster. But just a great performance by Andre Pallante last night. I always look at Bill James' game score to rate starting pitching performance, and that was tied for the fifth best starting start by a Cardinals pitcher this year. And Pallante's got like three of the top nine starts. So if he could somehow just become more consistent. I would look at him favorably as a starting pitcher next season. But he's like a lot of these guys. He's just been all over the place. You're never quite sure what to expect.
I'm about to do a baseball nerd complaint of the utmost extreme level. You mentioned the game score statistic. They used to put those on the box scores, and at some point in recent years, I don't know when, they took it off. And like the official Major League Baseball produced box score, it used to include the Bill James game score stat on it, and it doesn't anymore. So I have to go look for it if I want to find it, which is a bummer. I love that stat.
And what I like about it is nothing complicated. I mean, he has a formula, but it's not esoteric at all. It's all the basic stuff. And the thing of it is, I refer to it as like a quick and easy way to measure what kind of start it was. 50 is average. Anything above 50 is, above average. And last night, Pallante's game score was 78. That's really, really good. So that was a heck of a job. And, this Miami team, and I know they didn't have Stowers last night, but this Miami team came into Busch Stadium and, having been scoring a lot of runs since about the middle of June. So that was a legit offense.
I'm kicking myself right now. I'm going to lead off with the one thing that I didn't pull from the audio. So I'll just say what he said and we'll talk about it. But since we're talking about Pallante, I thought Ollie made a wonderful point today where he said with pitch to contact guys, Pallante could have done exactly what he did yesterday. And if luck would have not been with him, if the soft contact would have found a way through, it could have looked like a really bad performance. And I was thinking about that last night when I was hosting the post-game show. And this isn't me attacking listeners and commenters and everything. They were right in what they said, but so many people were saying, "Oh man, look, that Pallante was great. If he could just keep doing that." And it kept going through my head. Yeah, he was great. Lots of soft contact. That's exactly what you need. But there's so often where he's going to have kind of a day like that, but the luck is not going to go in his direction, and the box score is going to look bad, and people are going to be very critical of him, where really he performed very similar in the two hypothetical situations.
Yeah, there's almost a little resistance or a lot of resistance out there when we talk about batted ball luck, that people think that this is something that a bunch of Ivy Leaguers made up when they were bored or something, and it's some fancy pants ridiculous form. No, there's nothing. It's actually about as simple as could be. If you don't strike people out and you allow a very high contact rate, the ball's going to be in play a lot. And when the ball's in play a lot, it's not always going to go in a spot that favors the pitcher, right? So you're sort of you're leaving yourself vulnerable to batted ball luck, but also your defense. If you have a really good defense, which the Cardinals do, they'll get to some of those balls that maybe some other teams won't. But batted ball luck can turn on a pitcher who has a high contact rate against him. It can turn on a pitcher just like that. I mean, it's a sudden thing. There's no predicting it. Although you'd like to see a guy like Pauley keep the ball down. That certainly helps.
So for those of the folks who are listening, were listening to Cardinals pregame last night, and this is where listening maybe gives you a little bit of information and some more context to what's going on. You heard Ivan Herrera yesterday during the cuts that we played in pregame say that the thing he was actually really afraid of was the ball straight over his head, that he felt good going right to left, but he was worried about the ball going straight over his head and playing that one. Bernie, on his first outfield chance yesterday, that man sprints to the wall, turns around, and then looks up and catches it. And so for folks who are listening, they know exactly why he did that because he openly confessed that. But I thought Herrera looked all right yesterday.
Yeah, and that's what John Jay told him. He said, listen, the first thing the ball's off the bat, it looks like it's going to be high and it looks like it's going to travel. You just get back to the wall, and then you look and see where it is. Just get back to the wall. And frankly, I mean, that's great advice. It's simple advice, but it's great advice. You don't want to get caught like kind of looking up and wandering around, and then you're trying to run back there. Just get back to the wall and then track the ball. Frankly, that's something I wish Jordan Walker would do a lot better at in right field. But listen, I think Herrera, he's an athlete. He can run. He can move. He's got lateral movement. I think it's going to take time, and people have to be patient. There'll probably be a few screw-ups, but I think he's has what it takes to be a solid left fielder. And the other thing about this, and I don't want to get into it too deep, but I revisit it later. I'm always surprised when people don't know history. The left field is a place where hitters go. It's a bat first position. And I could go through 50 guys in Major League history. Nobody cared if they were awkward in left field. Nobody cared if they were slightly below average, or even if they were not good at all. When you have a guy like averaging 44 home runs for like 3 or 4 seasons, I don't think anyone's going to sit there and go, oh my gosh, they got to bench this guy because he didn't catch that fly ball. People are kind of silly. I don't get it. But historically, even the St. Louis Cardinals, Tony La Russa, and everyone else since then, the Cardinals have used left field as a place to put guys where you want to get the bat in the lineup and you'll make it work. And they've actually won World Series with guys like that. And Herrera fits that type, I'll say, right?
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely, he does. And look, I don't get sometimes this obsession with defense over offense, because there's going to be a play that a player can't make once every 3 days, once every 4 days, once a week, and you're getting a bat in for 4 or 5 plate appearances per game, obviously. And look, there's time when defense matters. I'm not just throwing defense away, but we need to get out of this thing of where, defense is more important than offense. It's not. You win more games by hitting the ball than you do catching the ball.
No, you just can't have a team where, they're all really good fielders, but there's not enough pop, there's not enough production. And also with the Cardinals, this is a good example why Victor Scott's so valuable defensively. If you want to talk about defense, we all noticed on that one fly ball to Herrera last night, Victor Scott raced over and was right there in case there was some kind of mishap. He can cover a lot of ground out there. But Matt, when I was Matt Holliday's one of the best hitting outfielders the Cardinals have ever had, and he was a guy that went to 6 All-Star games as a Cardinal. He got MVP votes 4 times. He was statistically he led as a Cardinal through 2015. He led all Major League left fielders in wins above replacement. He was in the top 5 in every offensive category. And on and on and on. Also just won championships, division titles. You just let this guy, I'll never forget it. You would just let this guy look awkward in tracking a fly ball, or like not being smooth at all, right? Where you're like, oh, does he see it? It didn't look good. People in this market would just lose their ever-loving minds about Matt Holliday. This is a guy who arguably was the best best hitting left fielder in baseball for about a 8-year period or so. You let him screw up one fly ball, and it's like, they got to bench him. This guy's the worst I've ever seen. Once again, left field is where managers stash hitters because left field is relatively easy to play. This is nothing new. It's not beginning with Ivan Herrera. Know your history, my friends. Know your history.
It's also, you asked a question today of Ali. I thought it was really good because you got into the lack of production of right-handed bats in the outfield this year, and you gave the numbers, and they're ugly, and Ali pretty much agreed with you.
We haven't had a ton of power from our outfielders, a lot of slug and production. This allows for the potential of that being the case, but it's a matter of comfort and effectiveness out in left field. If we continue to take a look at it and he looks like he can do the job, then we go into the offseason and we feel much better about what our options are. But I think first step is yesterday. Let's get the nerves out. Let's see what it looks like, and then do it several more times to see some action in games, and then evaluate from there. But to your point, the production from our outfield, specifically in some of those power categories, is real.
We'll touch on that a little bit more coming up in just a moment. Right now, we got to get our first break in. We're back with more of the Redbird Rush Hour in just a moment here on KMOX.
That baby's gone!
Cardinals fans, FanDuel Sports Network is your home of the Cardinals.
That ball was mashed.
And there are more ways to watch this season.
Holy cow!
Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network to stream the Cardinals without blackouts.
How about that play?
Or watch through a TV provider.
Incredible!
Including DirecTV, Spectrum, Xfinity, Fubo, and more.
He got it!
Learn more at cardinals.com/TV.
Ball game! It couldn't have worked out any better for the Cardinals.
This Segment Cancer Center spotlight how innovative immunotherapy is showing promise against aggressive T-cell cancers. Dr. John DePercio.
Patients have come here from all over the United States and, in fact, all over the world to get evaluated and treated for this treatment. We hope that this can be continued, that we demonstrate in a clinical trial that it's safe and effective, and that ultimately it will be approved by the FDA so it's available to everyone in the world.
For more information, visit siteman.wustl.edu.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey, it's Matt Pauley for i3 Broadband, the internet provider in the Pauley household. I think you'd love it if you had them as well. We've got the 2 gig package at our home. 2 gig upload, 2 gig download, mirrored, and we're spending less money than we did with the cable company for lesser service. Plus, right now, they've got savings over $400 beyond their already low standard pricing. You got questions? They've got answers. Call 877-976-0711, and they've got people there who can answer all your questions, or head to their website, i3broadband.com.
Calling all soccer fans. The Premier League is coming to STL. St. Louis City SC will host English Premier League giants Aston Villa Football Club. Wednesday, July 30th, 7:30 p.m. at Energizer Park. Reserve your seat for this historic match now at stlcitysc.com/tickets. Wednesday, July 30th at 7:30 p.m. That's stlcitysc.com/tickets. St. Louis City versus Aston Villa, presented by Purina.
Brought to you by Terrace Senior Living of Eureka. Check out the Terrace in Eureka for affordable senior living with 24-hour nursing supervision, delicious meals, medication management, and activities. The Terrace is affordable and will work with your Medicaid plan. Go to rspseniorliving.com and look for the Terrace Private Assisted Living.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, they're reporting a crash, sending EMS for westbound 44 before Antar. I can see traffic backing up in the area there, so be prepared if you are headed westbound on 44 because of that crash, and emergency crews are on the way. I can't tell what lanes are blocked right now, but it is going to be a problem, I think, for a little bit. Eastbound 64 in Metro East is jammed, 255 through 157, and it's still slow approaching 159. Northbound 170 north of the Rock Road up through 70s, heavy. South 170 bogs down at Delmar. Westbound 64 Kings Highway to Clayton, Skinker slow from Clarkson most of the way to the Boone Bridge and Lake St. Louis Boulevard to 70. Ballgame traffic eastbound 64 through the Chesterfield Parkways to about Timberlake and at the Interbelt. South 270 Page to Ladue, 64 through Manchester. After that, it's not so bad. Westbound 44 is heavy from Kings Highway headed out through Southwest in the city. Eastbound 44 out on the westbound 70 through Salisbury. That's slow. Both directions, 70 around Earth City off the pace, 70 around Zumbel, and around 61. You're also a little crowded. Next update at 5:40 from the overhead MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
This is the Redbird Rush Hour on 104.1 KMOX.
Alongside of Bernie Miklasz, I'm Matt Pauley. It is the Redbird Rush Hour here on KMOX. If you want to comment, you can do so. For those of you who are watching on the video stream, also we'll take your text messages at 314-436-7900. Bernie, before we went to break, we played the cut from Ollie, and the stats that you listed this afternoon about the lack of production from right-handed bats in the outfield. It's astounding. I didn't realize that it would gone that bad.
You know, it's one of these things that I've had a little bit of an obsession with since really last year too, and then it's carried over to this year. The Cardinals overall really get weak production from their outfield bats. I mean, even left-handed hitters out there, in terms of how they compare to other outfield groups in the majors. So I'll give this to you really quick. By the way, people can read the column, little self-promotion. You go to stlsportscentral.com and you'll see all this stuff, but some other good stuff in Bernie's Redbird review, which is easily accessible. It's free to read, all that stuff. Anyway, so, I was trying to explain, well, one of the reasons why it makes great sense to have Herrera in left field is because their offense out in the generally speaking, the overall outfield offense has been very weak for 2 years in a row. Over the last 10 months of baseball, regular season baseball, that's all of last season, and plus the first 4 months this season, St. Louis outfielders as a group collectively rank last in the National League in home runs, 14th in slugging, 14th in OPS, 13th in batting average. And if you really boil it down, the fact that the right-handed hitting among outfielders who bat right-handed, the last 2 seasons since the start of 2024, they ranked 30th in the majors with a 205 average, 271 on base percentage, 323 slug, 594 OPS, 10 home runs and 541 bats, and using weighted runs created plus 32% below league average offensively, right-handed hitting outfielders in the Cardinals uniform. That stuff's embarrassing. Mm-hmm. And so why does Herrera make sense? I won't read the numbers. I'll just give you the conclusion. Herrera, among National League right-handed hitters that have at least 220 plate appearances this season, Herrera is basically the third best right-handed hitter in the National League behind Ronald Acuna Jr. and Will Smith. So, yeah, this is why it makes great sense to get him in the left field, let him learn the position, and deal with some of the growing pains, because the payoff will be absolutely worth it.
It will. It feels like right now they still want to pick and choose their spots here, which makes sense. You ease him into the position. Right. I don't know if they're on board with him being a full-time outfielder quite yet, but part of that's up to Herrera. He has not played the outfield since he's been 14 years old, and he has spent 2 weeks working with John Jay during batting practice and during early work. It's not easy. It's not hard. Like you talked about earlier. It's a place where you can put somebody, but it is going to take a little bit of time to figure out whether or not you can put them out there on an everyday basis.
Listen, and I don't mean this as a cheap shot, because after he retired, I became really good friends with and colleagues with Chris Duncan, God rest his soul. But if Chris Duncan can play left field, and it looked awkward, it looked uncomfortable, but he, generally speaking, got the job done, even though it wasn't very stylish. If you could get, when he was at his peak, where he had a slugging percentage well over 500 and was hitting home runs all over the place, if Chris Duncan can make that conversion and handle it okay defensively, Ivan Herrera is a better athlete with more speed, more quickness. I got to believe give him time and he'll settle into that and do just fine.
You're listening to the Redbird Rush Hour. Ollie did talk a little bit today about the approach to the deadline and really how he and the team are handling it from a mental standpoint, knowing that this team could look different at the end of the week. We'll listen into a little bit of what he had to say and what kind of message they can send to Mo here in these final 2 games before the deadline as well. That's all coming up next on the Redbird Rush Hour right here on KMOX.
Summer is here. Time to enjoy baseball, barbecues, and the shade of your trees. When it comes to tree care, call the certified arborist at Gamma Tree Experts. Hi, I'm Tim Gamma. Protect your valuable trees from storm damage or devastating insects such as the emerald ash borer. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. For pruning, spraying, fertilization, or removals, call Gamma Tree Experts today at 314-725-6159 or visit us at gammatree.com. Your trees deserve the best care.
Dive into adventure this summer at the St. Louis Aquarium's Summer of the Shark. Get face to fin with some of the ocean's most awe-inspiring creatures in shark-themed exhibits, jaw-dropping displays, and interactive experiences for the whole family. Whether you're a fin-tastic fan or just curious, there's hands-on fun and fascinating facts around every corner at the St. Louis Aquarium. Don't miss your chance to make a splash. Plan your visit today at stlouisunionstation.com. That's stlouisunionstation.com.
The smartest way to do your homework is Hackman Lumber.
Warm weather means homework for homeowners. And for 80 years, Hackman Lumber has been the trusted name for home improvement. If your homework means a new deck, turn to the deck experts at Hackman Lumber. Browse the largest inventory of decking materials and accessories in Missouri. Talk with our experts about treated lumber, cedar, TimberTech, Trex, Envision, Decorators, and Duralife to find the perfect deck for you. Choose from endless railings, balusters, and LED deck lighting options. Hackman Lumber has been serving homeowners and pros for 80 years, and they will not be undersold on in-stock decking materials guaranteed. Whether you DIY with their expert advice or need a trusted contractor, Hackman has you covered. They are now an authorized steel dealer and stock a huge selection of grills. So celebrate summer with a new Big Green Egg, pellet grills, Weber gas, or charcoal grill, and all the accessories you need for the perfect backyard setup. Visit Hackman Lumber's showrooms in St. Charles, Pacific, and Troy, Missouri, or hackmanstl.com.
Hi, I'm Andrew Suntrup. For over 30 years, St. Louis and St. Charles families have trusted Suntrup Buick GMC. As a proud family-owned dealership, we offer more than just great deals. We offer peace of mind. At Suntrup Buick GMC, you'll always find a huge selection of inventory to choose from, unmatched customer service, and every vehicle comes with our exclusive lifetime powertrain protection program. Visit in store or online at suntrupbuickgmc.com. Save more at Suntrup Buick GMC.
You ask a lot of your liver, so give it the support it needs with Active Liver. Active Liver provides an easy daily detox. Go to nordiciusa.com, Amazon, or ask for Active Liver at your local CVS. New you, new Nordic.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
At 5:29 right now, we've got some sunshine. It is 94 downtown at the Arch. U.S. News and World Report is out with its annual Best Hospitals rankings. KMOX Health Editor Fred Bottomer tells us how our local hospitals fared in the Best Hospitals in the St. Louis region category.
Barnes Jewish Hospital came in at number 1 in the metro area and was ranked nationally in 11 out of 14 specialties. It was also number 1 in the state. Mercy St. Louis finished at number 2 in the metro, also second in Missouri, and was ranked high-performing in 3 specialties and in 20 procedures and conditions. Missouri Baptist was ranked number 3 in both the St. Louis area and in the state. St. Luke's Hospital in Chesterfield ranked number 4 locally, while Mercy South came in at number 5 and Christian Hospital at number 6. Fred Bottomer, KMOX News.
The Cardinals want to fill the stands at Busch Stadium for an appearance on Sunday Night Baseball. There's a 12-hour flash ticket sale slated for Wednesday at 10 a.m. Central Time. The game is versus the Chicago Cubs. It was recently selected by ESPN to become a Sunday night showcase game, and this sale tomorrow is for $15 Loge or $30 Field Box tickets, and the fees are included. If you love ice cream, you live in the right place.
Labor stats show Missouri has one of the highest proportions of workers in the ice cream making industry in the U.S. The North American Ice Cream Association is headquartered in Wildwood. Total Information AM spoke with Executive Director Steve Christensen about one of the big challenges for the industry, pricing.
As costs like fuel and transport and the butter index goes up and down, the raw product or the base product that a lot of ice cream shops use increases in price too.
Missouri is home to big factories like Prairie Farms and Good Humor Breyers, along with smaller manufacturers like the Ice Cream Factory in Lebanon and Clementine's in St. Louis. Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
And ice cream can be part of a balanced diet. Michelle Wilson, registered dietitian with Brands Nutrition, says it can provide calcium and protein and points out when we restrict cravings, it can make them worse.
Are we telling ourselves, I'm never allowed to have ice cream again? Then it's like, I want to have tons of ice cream now.
Wilson says if you include ice cream in your diet, it's good to balance it out with other things like protein and fiber. Forecast from Dave Murray for tonight: clear sky, warm, humid, low 79. City's going to stay above 80. For tomorrow, still hot, still humid, mostly sunny, but also a few afternoon storms, and some of them could become severe. High temperature 94 degrees. More storms tomorrow night, 71. For Thursday, 82. And Dave says wonderful temperatures Friday and over the first weekend of August. Right now, downtown at the Arch, we've got sunshine. It's 93. The feels like is down to 96. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Hi, St. Louis. This is EJ Turner, one of the 6 certified arborists with Timberline Professional Tree Care. Spring and summer in the St. Louis area can mean severe weather and storm cleanup for homeowners. Fallen branches or entire trees are not only unsightly, but they can be extremely dangerous. Each year, hundreds, if not thousands of homeowners are injured or even killed while trying to trim, remove, or clean up trees that have fallen. These injuries are often the result of falls from ladders or roofs, cuts from the chainsaws, or the tree itself striking the homeowner. We've all seen the YouTube videos. Don't let yourself or loved one become the next victim. At Timberline, we all have the knowledge and equipment to safely and efficiently remove that tree or tree branch from your home, structure, or yard. Go ahead and save our 24-hour number to your phone. It's 636-479-7475. Again, 636-479-7475, or visit our website at stltreecare.com.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius, or 2 half geniuses, and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Soccer fans, St. Louis City SC hosts English Premier League giants, the Aston Villa Football Club, Wednesday, July 30th, 7:30 p.m. at Energizer Park. Reserve your seat for this historic match now at stlcitysc.com/tickets. St. Louis City versus Aston Villa, presented by Purina.
If something happens to you, what happens to your family? Will they struggle financially? Will they be able to afford the home you built together? With Ethos, you can get life insurance coverage in minutes. Get up to $2 million in coverage for as little as $2 a day. All online with no medical exam. Just answer a few health questions. Get your free quote at ethos.com/life. That's ethos.com/life. Rates may vary. Billed monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
Now is the perfect time to start on your next success. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start August 13th. An accredited state university, University of Maryland Global Campus offers online and hybrid courses. Plus, you can earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits towards a master's. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chevy.
Brought to you by Jack in the Box.
Spending 2 hours staring at the back of someone's bumper isn't the best way to end your day. So Jack in the Box is giving you a bonus with their new Bonus Jack Combo. Fries, a drink, and a burger with your choice of 1, 2, or 3 patties, starting at just $4.49. Get so much more.
You're listening to the Redbird Rush Hour on 104.1 KMOX.
It's the Redbird Rush Hour right here on KMOX. That's Bernie Miklasz. I'm Matt Pauley, taking you for another 10 minutes or so. We'll lead you right into coverage of Cardinals baseball. It is time for our Game Day Men's Health Peak Performer, and we had a few options to go with. Game Day Men's Health, get back to the top of your game. Bernie, we talked about it a little bit earlier, but I'm going to go with Andre Palante. It was just 3 straight not-so-good starts for him. To see him go out and have the success yesterday when the Cardinals needed it, and they need some success from the starting pitching, it was good to see.
No doubt about it. And, there's been so many good performances this year. When you're looking for consistency, when he's been on, he's been really good. I tell you, a guy, we could give him honorable mention. Just so impressed with Alec Burleson, how much he's improved defensively. And, he had a slow start to the season, but, you look at his numbers since May the 1st, they're fantastic. I mean, he's just a legitimate weapon, big time weapon in that lineup. And Ollie Marmol talked about that today when I asked him about, how, if you had to identify, okay, what guys have helped themselves the most on this runaway season, and the first guy he said, and he was very emphatic about it, was Alec Burleson. So it's fun to watch Burley get better and better with more experience.
Yeah, I think the really cool thing when it comes to Burley is a lot of people looked at the way he finished the season last year and started the season this year and went, you know what? Maybe this guy's just kind of a 4A player. And to his immense credit, he worked and worked and worked. His plate discipline and his swing decisions, I think that's the single biggest thing that's added, because he can make contact with anything, but he shouldn't make contact with everything. There's some things he just should not swing at, and I assume Brent Brown was part of this conversation, but as soon as he became more selective, every other part of his offense just started to skyrocket.
He's basically been about in a top 10 National League hitter since May 1st, and he leads the Cardinals since May 1st in all kinds of categories. And the only one that he doesn't lead, I think he's second to Wilson Contreras in RBI since the 1st of May. But other than that, he pretty much runs the leaderboard. And so, I love to watch, monitor the defensive metrics. And if you look at where Burleson was the last couple years, like playing right field, the last couple years before this year playing left field, and he was just so bad. And left field this year, according to the stuff at Fangraphs, in left field, Burleson this year is a +1 in defensive run saved, and he's a +1 in outs above average. Like he's slightly above average. And with that kind of offense, man, you'll take. Are you kidding me? A guy that's a slightly above average, who can hit like that. Bring it on. I mean, that's exactly what you're looking for. But you're right. It's all about hard work. And, Ali said today on Gas House Gang that they sort of gave an ultimatum to Burleson. Ali didn't use that word, but that's what it sounded like, because he just said, look, you have got to get better off defensively. You have got to get better. And if you don't, you're just not going to play that much because you really hurt us defensively. Burleson answered the challenge, man. I give him a lot of credit for that.
He absolutely did. It is 5:40. We're going to take a quick break for traffic, and then we'll be right back to finish up the program here on KMOX.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
This traffic report's a service of Jack in the Box. I mentioned in the last report about the crash on westbound 44 at Antire. They're blocking the left lane, westbound 44, just before you get to the Antire overpass. It's a solid jam pretty much from 141 all the way to that point. Westbound 30, just a little busy. 141 to Summit after that. Not so bad if you wanted to do that as an alternate. Manchester approaching 141 out through Henry is about the busiest spot there as an alternate route as well. South 270 is just slow. Olive de Ladue around Clayton Road and Doherty Ferry down to about Big Ben's off the pace. South 170, ballgame traffic jammed at the Parkway. Eastbound 64, ballgame traffic backs up from McKnight to Big Bend. Westbound 64, Science Center to McCausland is slow. There's still a couple of spots. Chesterfield Parkway West through Long Road and then just at the Boone Bridge, but it looks good in St. Charles County. Eastbound 70, ballgame traffic, Earth City to 270, slow, and it's a little busy right through right around Jennings Station. Northbound 170, Natural Bridge to 70 is heavy, and we still have the roadwork delays. Eastbound 64, east of 157 to 159. I'm Roger Brand at the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Wrapping up this edition of Redbird Rush Hour, I wanted to play one more thing from Ollie. I did a bad job of playing Ollie cuts today, but we'll get one more thing in here before all is said and done. As mentioned, Cardinals still hanging around in the playoff race, 3.5 games out of a wild card spot. And Ollie was asked today what the team can do to maybe send a message to John Mozeliak.
By playing the game the right way and giving ourselves a shot every day. I mean, I think you have to do it with actions more than words. You just go out there and you prepare your team to take their best shot, man. And I feel like we've done that. We got beat the last 2 against San Diego. I mean, the road trip wasn't good, and that's on us. But at the end of the day, just going out there and just playing the best game we could possibly play. We've had several conversations as far as how I feel, how he feels, and how to move this thing forward. And the reality is this, man, like when you take a step back and you think about what we're trying to do over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years and being able to sit down with Chaim as well and talking through what's possible for this organization moving forward. I don't want to make decisions that feel good in the short term, and then we're stuck in this middle ground for another couple years. I want to be able to, even in my seat as I sit here, I want to make sure that we're not sneaking into the playoffs every year. I want to beat people's ass and like you show up to the field. There's a difference between showing up to the field and taking your best shot and showing up to the field knowing you're going to win, and once in a while you may get beat. That's different. I want to get to the point where this club and this organization is back to doing exactly that, which is you show up every day knowing you're going to win, and at times somebody beats you. And in order to do that, we're going to have to make some tough decisions. But it doesn't mean that I'm not showing up today trying to win. I can guarantee that.
Bernie, I love that from Ollie. And there's even the Cardinals fans that dislike Ollie the most. There's no way you can listen to that and not basically agree with it.
I was asking him those questions, and I said, like, well, what do you say to John Mozeliak if, you disagree about the trade deadline approach? And he started off what you said, and then he pivoted into this thing where, basically to translate, Ollie's looking at a much bigger picture than the 2025 trade deadline. And I commend him because the Cardinals have to raise their standards. The Cardinals should not be a team that is just trying to, kind of scratch their way and creep into the playoffs and get a wild card spot. The Cardinals need to build a team that is strong and intimidating and imposing and confident and can go into any playoff series with that belief that, hey, we got this. We got this. We'll take care of it. And they need to do that stuff. They need to do that stuff instead of kind of skimping and playing it in the middle. He gets it, man. He gets it. The big picture view is perfect. It really is.
That's Bernie Miklasz. I'm Matt Pauley. Bernie, we're going to be doing this all week long, which is great. No Kevin Wheeler. We'll survive. We'll survive without Kevin. He can go, move furniture at his daughter's new house in North Carolina, and we can do this every day.
Yeah, you and I don't get a chance to work like just the two of us together. Yeah. So everybody else go away. Me and Pauley want to run this thing.
Bernie,
I'm just kidding. So love working with you.
Awesome, but I feel the same way. That's Bernie Miklasz. I'm Matt Pauley. We've got Cardinals baseball on the way next. Pitching matchup this evening. Cardinals have Sonny Gray on the mound, 10-4, 4.33 ERA. Sandy Alcantara, likely his final start as a Marlin. He is going to go for them coming up tonight, and we've got coverage beginning in just about 5 minutes. Thanks for being tuned in to the Redbird Rush Hour on KMOX.
We can get more sleep, we can get more sun, and we can get more exercise, but the one thing we can't get more of is time. It's time to